This talk introduces our work titled Integrated Development Environment with Interactive Scatter Plot for Examining Statistical Modeling. Statistical modeling is getting more and more important. However, it is not easy for novices in statistical modeling to understand the behavior of statistical modeling methods and select an appropriate method and parameter values. Test data is helpful to address the problem. By applying the statistical modeling method to various input data and observing the outputs, one can clearly understand the behavior of the method and control it appropriately. However, it is still not easy to prepare test data and work with it. Traditional approach for generating test data is to use API function calls such as make regression and make classification. However, these text-based methods are difficult to understand and lack flexibility. Traditional workflow is divided into data generation and execution of statistical modeling. The user first writes a code for executing statistical modeling. The user then writes a code for data generation. After observing the result, the user either modifies the statistical modeling code or data generation code. This division makes the trial and error process inefficient and difficult. In this work, we make two contributions to address these problems. First, to address the inflexibility of data generation by API function call, we present interactive scatter plot where one can generate data with graphical interaction. Second, to address the inefficiency of divided coding, we present live programming method where the user can perform the development of statistical modeling and data generation in parallel. Here, I will review important works related to ours. There are some methods that convert graphical data, for example, image to data samples. Our work is inspired by these works and extend it to support graphical editing and live programming. Several sketch-based systems for data generation have also been proposed. In these systems, the user draws a stroke on screen and generate 1D data, for example, time series data. We extend these 1D data design tool to 2D dataset design, and support live programming. Live programming is a technique that provides the user with feedback for understanding the behavior of the program currently running. We apply it for supporting data generation during the development of statistical modeling algorithms. In summary, our work combines graphical data generation, sketch-based data generation, and live programming to support comprehension and development of statistical modeling algorithms. Next, I will explain the behavior of the prototype system. The screen consists of text editor on the left and scatter plot on the right. The users write a code in the text editor. We use Python. Next, the user relates a program variable to the sketching tool. When clicking the Run button, the system executes the current code and displays the variables on scatter plot panel. On the scatter plot, the user can modify the data, and the result is sent back to the code execution. I will explain our system in more detail. First, we briefly explain how users interact with our interface to design 2D datasets on the scatter plot. We support two generating functions, brush and population tools. In brush tool, the user performs a mouse drag operation, red arrow, and the system generates data points, that is blue points. In population tool, the user first selects data points. The user increases or decreases data points by changing the slider value. Brush selection tool selects data points under the mouse cursor after dragging. Bucket selection tool selects a group of nearby data points after clicking. Transforming functions allows the user to change a cluster's position and shape. We support three functions: translation, scaling and rotation. Next, I explain live programming aspect of the system. To visualize data distribution, The user inserts number bind comment with the variable name of the target data. When the execution reaches the comment, the system associates the data defined by the variable with the points on the scatter plot. The user can visually and easily design 2D data distribution on the interactive scatter plot. As the user changes the data values on the scatter plot, the system automatically updates the associated variables and show execution results in the scatter plot. During this data editing, our system automatically and continuously run a program from 13 and 14. That is, the system continuously visualizes the results of data analysis method, in this time, k-means method. That is our system detail. Next, we also introduce several usage scenarios of our system. First one is outlier deletion. It is difficult to detect and remove outlier on the text code. However, by using our eyes, we can easily find outlier-like data points and remove such outliers. Next one is hypothetical data creation. In this example, the user observes the emergence of third cluster in the dataset. It is plausible to expect the trend continues. Our tool makes it easy for the user to create hypothetical future data distribution by increasing data point in the new cluster and run analysis on the hypothesis. Our system is useful for the comparison of statistical modeling methods. Our system allows the users to continuously modify data distribution in the scatter plot, and observe and compare responses of multiple statistical modeling methods. In this example, the user moves one cluster closer to another one. When the clusters are far apart, both methods correctly classifies each cluster into a specific group. On the other hand, when moving one cluster closer to the other, the k-means method shows an undesirable clustering result. So, we can see that the k-means method is unsuitable for these cases, and dbScan provides better clustering results. This example shows the comparison of two regression models. Red one is minimizing the square mean error and black one is minimizing the trimmed square mean error. After adding outliers by hand, minimization of the square mean error is strongly affected by the outliers. This clearly shows that trimmed square mean error is more robust against outliers. We now explain the user study we performed using our system. The purpose of the study is to investigate whether the participants can understand characteristics of the clustering methods, for example, robustness, by using our system. We invited 13 participants. 11 participants had experience with statistical tools. 2 participants had experience using data analysis libraries but no knowledge of statistical modeling algorithms and their behaviors. The task is to edit scatterplot according to our instruction and observe the responses of 4 clustering algorithms. We requested the participants to compare 4 clustering algorithms: mean shift, k-means, Ward's method, and dbScan. We provide these 3 scenarios, each of which consist of a data distributions and edit procedure. The 3 scenarios ask the user to change distance between clusters, density of clusters, and shape of clusters, respectively. We asked the participants to evaluate the robustness of each clustering algorithm in each scenario using a 5-point scale, from 1 to 5. This is a result. The participants answered that Ward method is robust against changing distance, and dbScan is robust against in all the scenarios. Next, for checking the answer is correct or not, we refer to textbooks of statistics modeling. This textbook suggests that k-means and mean shift are less robust than dbScan and Ward's method. This aligns with the result of our user study. These results show that the participants successfully evaluated the robustness of the 4 clustering algorithms. Lastly, I explain some limitation and future work. The previous research and our system mainly focus on 1D or 2D data distribution. We plan to extend our idea to 3D data, or even higher dimensional data. We also plan to support other data graph types, such as histogram and pie chart. This concludes my talk. We present a bidirectional programming environment that integrates an interactive scatter plot and live code editor. Our system enables the users to intuitively edit 2D data distributions, and visually observe the behavior of statistical modeling algorithm. That's all. Thanks for listening.